Hello, Algebra 2 students. We are going to look today at your assignment for Where Do You Stand? It's a Google Slides assignment, and so what you're going to do is follow the directions on each slide. If we were in class, I would have you standing near corners of the room that were labeled A, B, C, and D. According to each question, what your answer would be, then you would go and stand by that letter. Since we can't do that remotely, we're going to do that through Google Slides, and you're going to insert your picture where the answer to your question would be. So this is just a title slide. Where do you stand? Okay. Next slide says, how do you normally travel to school? So you have choices: bus, car, walk, or bicycle. Uh, I know that you guys, because you're watching this video, are probably learning remotely, but if this were back to normal, how would you get to school? So what you're going to do here says use the insert menu to put your picture near the letter that corresponds with your mode of travel. So you're going to do insert and image and camera. Now I don't know if mine will do that because I'm using the camera to record video. There we go. Take your picture, smile, and then insert. And I get to school by car, so I'm going to put it by B. Now you can resize it. You've made a copy of this presentation, so yours should be the only picture there. And then I'll try to put them all together. Okay, so you're just going to put your image there by B. And then you're going to move on to the next question. How long does it take you to travel to school? It takes me about 12 minutes. So again, I'm going to go insert, image, camera, smile for the camera, take the picture, insert. I could have used that other one. Okay. Drag it to B. You can resize it if you want, or we can see the letter. Okay. So you're just going to go through here and go to each one. And on each slide, you're going to answer the question. Okay, that last one is blank. I think I took that one off, but that's how you are to complete this assignment. Hello, here we are with this activity, Where Do You Stand? Hopefully you've had time to go through and put your picture where it belongs according to which letter corresponds to your answer. I want us to talk about these a little bit because there is a purpose to these questions. The first one says, how do you normally travel to school? Did you have any trouble with that question? How many answers could you have to that question? Usually only one, right? You either rode the bus, or you rode in a car, you either drove or rode with somebody else, or you walked, or you rode a bicycle. Now, it is possible that maybe you walked part of the way, somebody picked you up, rode a car, but for the most part, each person would have one answer. They would have no trouble knowing which letter to put their picture by, or if we're in the classroom, knowing which letter to stand by because you have one answer. Okay, let's look at the next question. How long does it take you to travel to school? Again, I'm interested here in how many possible answers did you have? Did you have any trouble deciding which one to choose? Okay. Is there any way that you could have answered more than one and both been correct? Can it take you between 0 and 10 and between 11 and 30 minutes to get to school? No, it's going to be one answer. Each person, it takes you so many minutes to drive to school. For example, it takes me 12 minutes to get from my house to the high school. From your house, it might take you 2 minutes or 3 minutes, but it's not going to be between 0 and 10 and at the same time for the same trip, 11 to 30. Okay? Each person has one answer. Think of yourself as the input. Each student as the input is going to have one output. You should know a math word for that. Be thinking about that. Okay. Look at the next one. What grade are you in? Okay. Again, I'm interested here in how many answers could you have? Each of you is only going to be in one grade at a time. Okay, you might change grades during the middle of the year for some reason if you earn credits, but you're not going to be a 9th grader and a 10th grader at the same time. Okay. I want to think back on these questions that we have asked. How do you normally travel to school? How long does it take you to get there? And what grade are you in? For each one of these questions, each student could only have one answer. Okay? Each student can only have one answer. Now let's think about if students are the input and the answers are the output, or students are the X values, the answers are the Y values. How many did you have for each one of these questions? Only one. Okay? There's a word for that. Okay, so if in these first three questions, each student or each input corresponds with exactly one output. Okay, did everybody have a place to stand? Or to everybody have a spot to put their picture? Okay, I don't know of any other way you could have gotten to school: bus, car, walk, or bicycle. Okay, nobody came in an airplane, nobody came in a spaceship. We did have somebody come on a tractor once, but for the most part, everybody had a place to stand. If we look at this second question, how long does it take you to travel to school? Every person, every input could fit in one of these outputs. 0 to 10 minutes, 11 to 30, 31 to 60, or 61 or more. Okay? This one, what grade are you in? If we use only the students in the room, or the students that are learning remotely, then every student would have one place to go. Every student would have one grade level that is theirs. How would it be different if we included the teacher, if you're in the classroom, or how would it be different if we included your parents or your younger siblings or your older siblings if you're at home? If you included your parents and any younger siblings or older siblings, would they have had an answer to this question? Would they have had a place to put their picture? Are they in the 9th grade, the 10th grade, 11th grade, or 12th grade? Does each input have an output? That's going to be important for us as we move forward. All right, let's look at the next one. What color clothing are you wearing today? Blue, red, white, or black? If I look today, I have a problem here because I could answer blue or I could answer white. I actually could answer black. I have some black on my shoes. If I'm an input, I have more than one possible output. That means something for us. Okay. There might be somebody here who have done this before in my class where I've asked this question. Okay, if you're wearing blue, go stand by the A. If you're wearing red, go stand by the B. If you're wearing white, go stand by the C. If you're wearing black, go stand by the D. And have people in the middle of the room. Why do you think they would be in the middle of the room? What if they're wearing green and purple? Or what if they're wearing yellow? Or what if they're wearing pink? If they're not wearing any of these colors, they might not have a place to stand. The thing I want you to notice about this one is you could very easily have more than one option here. So as an input, you could have more than one output. Okay? Let's look at the next one. When is your birthday? A, September, B, October, C, November, D, December. When is your birthday? Okay? Mine's November. I would please insert, click the camera, put my picture on there in November. I'm a Thanksgiving baby. All right? So what's going to be an issue with this one? What if you're born in January? Or what if you're born in August? Or what if you're born in February? You don't have a place to put your picture on here if you're not born in September, October, November, or December. If we did this in the classroom, when we do this one in the classroom, we'll have a bunch of people standing in the middle of the room because they have no place to go because their birthday's not in one of those months. Does it make a difference if each input does not have an output? We're going to see. Okay, how tall are you? Less than 5, between 5 and 6, between 6 and 7, more than 7. Okay? Typically, we don't have anybody standing by the D. Probably when I get all these assignments, I won't have any pictures by D more than 7 feet. I might. I don't know my students yet. Probably will have some in A, less than 5 foot, some in B, between 5 and 6, C between. How many possible answers does each student have? You cannot be less than 5 foot and between 5 and 6 feet at the same time. You can't be between 5 and 6 and between 6 and 7 at the same time. Your height is only one, right? Did we cover everybody? If we use students in a classroom at the high school, we probably covered everybody. Less than 5 feet, between 5 and 6. Actually, the way that's worded, if you're at home, if we included parents, siblings, pets, would everybody have an output there? Because that choice A is labeled less than 5 feet, I think we'd cover everybody, right? The way that, what if I change the wording to between 4 foot and 5 feet? Then everybody you might have a younger sibling that's shorter than 4 feet, but because it's worded less than 5 feet, everybody would have one place to stand. That's going to fit our definition for the word we're looking for today. Okay. I think that's the last one. Do you guys know what that word is that we're looking for? Okay. What is the word? There's a math word that describes a set of values in which each input has only one output, or each x value has only one y value, or each element of the domain corresponds to exactly one element of the range. What word is that? It's a function. If you said function, you were right. If you remembered it, props to you. That's great. A function, in a function, each input has only one output. So let's think about our questions. Let's go back up here to the first one. How do you normally travel to school? We said each student had one possible answer there, right? That would be a function because each input has only one output, okay? If we think of students as the input, the answers as the output, each student would only have one answer there of how they got to school. By bus, by car, by walk, or by bicycle. Okay? Barring some exception, some rare exception, that's going to cover how everybody got to school. It's a function because each input had only one output. Okay? How long does it take you to travel to school? How many answers did you have to that question? Just one. Did everybody have a place to go? Did everybody have a place to put their picture? If we're in the classroom, did everybody have a place to stand? Yes. Because how long does it take you to school? From 0 to 10 minutes, all the way up to 61 or more. Okay? Hopefully you're not in that last category. That's a long ride to school. But every input had one output. Okay? That is a function. Look about this one. What grade are you in? Now, this one is a little bit tricky. If I only use inputs as students, only the students enrolled in Algebra 2, then each input has only one output, right? All of my students in Algebra 2 are going to be either in the 9th grade, the 10th grade, the 11th grade, or the 12th grade. And actually probably only 10th, 11th, or 12th. Doesn't matter that nobody's in the 9th. That doesn't matter. It's a function because every student is in one of those 4 grade levels, and they can only be in one of those grade levels at a time. Now, think about this. What if we expanded that domain? Domain is the set of the inputs. What if we expanded that domain and included the teachers? Or if you're at home, if we included your parents or your younger siblings? If you expand that domain and every input doesn't have an output, your parents are not in the 9th, 10th, 11th, or 12th grade. You probably maybe have younger siblings that are not in the 9th, 10th, 11th, or 12th grade. You may have a sibling that's home working on online college. They're not in 9th, 10th, 11th, or 12th grade. If every input doesn't have an output, that is not a function. So this question, it is a function if we restrict the domain to high school students. It is not a function if we expand the domain to include adults in the room, or adults or children, okay, younger children. If If that domain includes people that aren't in the 9th, 10th, 11th, or 12th grade, then this question no longer represents a function. Okay. All right, next. What color clothing are you wearing today? Can I be wearing blue and white? Can I be wearing red, white, and blue? Could I be wearing red, white, blue, and black? Okay. This one, what do you think? Is it a function? Is it not? If our definition of function is each input has only one output, then this one is not a function because you could be wearing more than one color of clothing. Okay. It could also not be a function because somebody might not be wearing any of these colors. But if you can have, if each X or each member of the input, each element of the domain can have more than one element of the range, like you could be wearing more than one color, then that is not a function. Okay? All right. This one, when is your birthday? What do you think? Function or not? For it to be a function, each input, each student, each element of the domain has to correspond with one element of the range. Do you think everybody in our class or everybody that's watching this remotely is born in September, October, November, December? Because if we have anybody that's born in August or anybody that's born in February, anybody that's born in a month that's not listed, then it's not a function. Okay? So depending on your domain, depending on who you restrict your inputs to, this is probably not a function because you're probably going to have people born in other months. Okay? One more. How tall are you? What do you think? Function or not? Okay. Would everybody, let's talk about if we had this in the classroom or if we restrict this to students who are learning remotely, is everybody going to fit in one of these four categories? Does each element of the input or element of the domain have one corresponding value of the range? Does each person have one answer? Yeah, there's no way you can be in more than one of those categories at the same time. You can only be in one. Okay, even if we expand the domain to include parents, teachers, administrators, younger siblings, still each person's going to fit in only one of those categories. Everybody's going to have a place to go. Everybody would have a place to put their picture. Everybody has an answer, and everybody only has one answer. Nobody can have more than one at the same time. So that is a function. All right. That's today's lesson, dealing with function or not. Be sure you check out your assignment and complete that, and I will talk to you later.